About a year ago, I made a video that was my first attempt to show you what Gale City looked like. And there was a lot of great things to look at in that video, and I actually went out on a limb again, imagine that. And there were quite a few things in that video that made me think that this was a military operation. There were things like what appeared to be early warning, radar, we'll call it. There was air cover. In other words, there was crafts in the air covering the area, and there was what appeared to be a ground-to-air battery. A couple of those. It just had a smacked of a military operation, and this video too smacks of a military operation for a couple of reasons. There's a couple things around that you might you might equate to that. Now, look at this thing up here in the left-hand corner. This thing. It's under what I think appears to be a netting. The camouflage netting. Now you can see the squareness of it on one side, and it's kind of uneven towards the back there. But on this side of it, on the left side of that, you can see the netting. It comes down and it folds over, and then on the back side, on the right hand side towards the back of it, you can see where it's actually fastened down to the ground. And then right in front of it, there's this big gold colored thing. I colored it gold, and it looks like it's a two-piece item. It's laying there in half for some reason. And there's just all kinds of debris around here. I mean, you just need to take a little bit of time and pause the video, which I always suggest. Some people complain that I'm going too fast, and I don't blame them because I have been. But you can always hit the pause button and look. I mean, that's what I used to do all the time. I don't have time hardly anymore to watch other people's videos. But in the past, I would hit the pause button and look. That way you don't miss anything for the most part. Some of these pictures you could look your whole life and keep coming back and finding new stuff. Now look at this thing. I don't know what it is, of course. It's some kind of a wheel attached to something. Maybe a pump or something. I don't know what it is. And then here's a shot of this side of that netting. You can see there's something laying on top of the netting. It looks like a surfboard, probably holding the netting down. There's just a ton of junk in here. I'm not going to point it all out. Then there's this thing up here on the hill. It's got a very unique shape. It reminds me of a downrigger weight. And if you were a fisherman, you'd know what I'm talking about. But this thing is way too big to be a downrigger weight. Not that they would have one out there in that ocean of sand anyway. But yeah, a very unique item, just happens to be sitting there. And this picture is a huge picture. There's a ton of stuff in it, and I'm just concentrating on what's in this area. I wonder what else is out there around there. I'll be looking to find out. But as usual, you think you're looking at something. You think you know what you're looking at, and when you look more closely, of course you don't. This is the way it always goes on Mars. This was something that I thought was rocks in the distance, and I don't really know exactly what possessed me to focus in on it, but it's obviously not a rock. It's something that has been ruined. It is destroyed. And I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like, well, okay, I'll tell you, it kind of looks like a destroyed tank to me, but I've never seen anything destroyed in this way. This thing looks like it's made, like something made Swiss cheese out of it. I mean, it is full of holes like nobody's business. And it is just the suggestion of a sprocket for a tread on the right-hand corner facing us. And look at the top there. It looks like where the turret might have attached. And there's all sorts of equipment. There are things on top of this thing that are still intact. At one point I thought maybe it was more camouflage netting, but if it were camouflage netting, it would cover the whole entire thing, not just part of it. So look at the top left part of that. Now, it's not as if we haven't seen tanks before on Mars, right? There's been at least these two instances of tanks, and then there's been other military equipment as well. So for me to say that this looks like a tank really isn't out of line. It would be an unusual looking tank, I'll say that, but of course it is alien, so it might not be the type of tank that we think. Now this would be the turret here that was blown off, and look at the texture on the turret. There's that wheel on there. It's a horizontal wheel. Is that some kind of a gyroscope or something? Did the skin of that turret get torn off? There's so much of this very strange exposed stuff, equipment we'll call it, design, that appears to be where the skin of the tank was actually torn off. I don't know. But in this area here, there is also this man here, and now this is their color. Okay, bear with me if you don't see him yet. Hopefully you'll be able to. But there is a man sitting on a little piece of equipment which appears to be something like a backhoe, but instead of a bucket on the end, he's got pincers to pick up whatever it is he's picking up, a piece of pipe or something. I don't know what it is. But you can see him there, and he appears to be bald, and he's wearing an olive drab jacket. Seriously, that's army color for us, Why on earth up there would they be having wearing olive drab? Now, so we have what appears to be a blown up tank. We have a something underneath camouflage netting, and then we have a guy wearing olive drab. Is this a military operation? I don't know. But this guy is pretty clear, and I actually tried an entire day to do a better job on this picture, and I wasn't able to do it. And the reason I was doing it is because I don't like the way I did this, where I blurred out everything all around him, and it makes him look like he's sitting on a little Johnny Quest hovercraft platform or something. It looks pretty stupid, but he is on the ground. He's not floating in the air. It's pretty clear. And even the raw image in black and white, or the raw image in their color picture, shows them pretty darn clearly. Very unusual machine with those pipes coming out. I don't see it tread. I don't know how this thing gets around. Maybe those pipes coming out are legs and it moves on legs. I doubt it, but I don't know. I can't really tell. And I don't know why I can't see treads. It almost does look like that thing is attached to this floating platform. Anyway, thanks a lot, folks, for watching. More coming up soon. Bye-bye.